Hello. Today we start with a course on predictive modeling. The course typically expects the participant to be aware of various predictive modeling concepts, typically statistical modeling concepts. We'll be taking this module of Minitab, and some part of it will also cover MS Excel, because Microsoft Excel also has the contents, the algorithms, which actually help in predictive modeling. Having said that, it is not as advanced as Minitab or SPSS, or for that matter even SAS module. So nonetheless, I'll take some small amount of MS Excel as well for those participants who are not quite aware of Minitab and other softwares. Applications and objectives. As you can see here, understanding predictive analytics concepts of regression modeling, correlation, and implementing them using Minitab and MS Excel is the basic objective. When I speak of applications, this course will apply on a wide variety of domain. So when I say a wide variety of domain, it can be used by market research professionals. Some of you participants might already be using it, of course, if you are in market research firms like AC Nielsen and maybe some other dominant market research firms. In addition to that, this course also finds tremendous significance in retail analytics. When I say retail, it means maybe something like Big Bazaar or Reliance Fresh, Godrej Agrovet, and Magnet, and whichever retailers. The objective is that whatever data you retrieve from these retailers or any other organization, maybe even from the manufacturing organization, you'll have to analyze it and then provide the output, interpret that output, and then predict how changes for a given specific model will change the overall output and provide the desired results. So having said that, let's quickly go through the table of contents. Actually, not that quickly, rather. I'll explain all these things. Table of contents. Now we can see here we have courses. We have defined courses: course 1, course 2, course 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we have these 6 courses. Of these 6 courses, course number 5, that is on regression modeling, is quite extensively defined here. I mean, not the detailing is much greater compared to all the other courses. The reason is regression modeling phase forms a core to the predictive modeling concepts. In addition to that, but then of course, prior to that, you need to know the remaining courses, typically descriptive statistics, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, what is the t-test. You also need to go through the analysis of variance, chi-test, f-test. Correlation techniques is also very important. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, also we'll be using MS Excel for predictive modeling implementations. So as we start with a bit of greater detailing, some detailing on the course contents. In course 1, we'll be going through, I'll explain you all Minitab and its applications to predictive modeling, wherein we'll learn actually how to import the CSV data, .txt data, XLSX, and XLS and other data sets into Minitab. We need to understand user operating concepts of Minitab, such as file, menu, stats, graphs, and other menus, and graphical user interface. See if I can show you actually. Let me have a quick glance because I already installed it. Okay, let us type in here. Yeah. So out here we can see that when we speak in terms of understanding, importing the data's, understanding the user operating concepts and other graphical user interface, what I actually mean is this: file menu, then we have edit menu, data, calculators, calculation, statistics. These are the different algorithms, statistical algorithms, which are actually integrated in this software. We also have various types of graphs out here: scatter plot, matrix plot, double plot, marginal plot, blah blah blah, whatever the number of plots we have here. Apart from that, we also have an editor. So if you wish, so you can also do some bit of programming in Minitab. We are not quite covering anything on programming. The same will also be followed by tools. What are the different tools that you can use? Microsoft Calculator. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, this is an ordinary calculator. If you wish to see it as a programmer, you can see this as a programming calculator. scientific calculator. Anyway, this is not something new to y'all. Y'all would be using all of this. So thereafter we understand how to cascade and minimize the window, restore. All these are similar to what we actually use in MS Excel as well. So okay, there is not much in here. You also understand how to go through the help menu, getting started. What is the stat guide we have? How do we understand? How do we retrieve a specific concept? Something like time series analysis. So in time series analysis, we need autocorrelation or ARMA. If not that, then okay, let's stick to basic statistics for starters and for your ease in understanding. So we click here, then we click on summary. So it tells us what does this mean. We use this information, what are the number of observations. So all this data will be available. The stat guide data will be available in the help menu. And finally, we have something called like assistant. We'll go through this as well in regression. If we click, it tells us which do we wish to choose. So we click on, say, simple regression. So it tells us what are the x columns and y variables and all these details. The alpha level will be predetermined at 0.01, 0.05 or 0.10. 0.05 is the default alpha level that we detect, that we usually use. By alpha level, I mean the p-values also. Some books have defined this as a p-value. Anyway, as we come to it, we'll discuss it further. So we cancel this for now. And yeah, we proceed with the course content details. So okay, this is part of course 1. As we move on to course 2, we'll be understanding the descriptive statistics, mean, standard deviation and t-test concepts. Ordinarily, these concepts already known to all statisticians and statistic practicing professionals, which means whatever they were studied, they'll have to be implementing it practically. Then we have analysis of variance ANOVA, chi-test, f-test. We'll be understanding these concepts also. I don't quite intend to go into too much detailing of these concepts. Nonetheless, they'll have to be explained to those participants who are not quite well versed with statistics, although they may have studied it in their schools and colleges, but not quite found it applicable or didn't know how to apply it in real life. They also move on to the correlation techniques in course 4, wherein we'll be correlating two data sets to see how much do they influence each other. Are they correlated? If they are correlated, how would future prediction pertaining to those variables change or vary? Then we'll move on to course 5. That is, out here in the regression modeling, we'll study the basic regression modeling theory, which typically starts with linear regression, y equal to mx plus c, which is nothing different from a straight line equation that we studied in school. And of course, we also study the implications of changes of these variables x on y. X is an independent variable, y is a dependent variable. So when x changes, y changes. By how much it changes, that depends on the value of m. So of course, as we proceed, we'll understand these concepts better. We have interpretation of regression attributes such as R squared, correlation coefficient, t and p values. We'll also be interpreting slope m, c as an intercept, dependent independent variables y and x, predicting y variables based on varying values of x variable, implementation of sample data sets using Minitab. After linear regression, we'll also pick multiple regression. The multiple regression will have one dependent variable as always, but it will have many independent variables. So when you speak of independent variables, x1, x2, x3, so on till xn will be independent variables, as we can see here in this sheet, this doc, page 2. Dependent variables are y and independent variables are dependent variables. To type in here, right? And independent variables x1, x2, x3, so on up till xn.